over the course of me working since I've been 18, I've had 7 different jobs. Some I've liked more than others, but I just wanted to go over barriers of employment with cerebral palsy and having a mobility disability, what I like doing, what I don't like doing. So when I started out working at age 18, I originally started working doing maintenance, which is a physically demanding career for somebody with cerebral palsy. And for the average person, standing 8 hours a day and, cleaning and taking the, changing the trash cans and that sort of thing, wouldn't be extremely physically demanding, but if you have cerebral palsy, it is. So I had, there were certain things I wasn't able to do, like climb ladders. Well, I'm able to climb a ladder, but I wasn't supposed to climb ladders when I was working there, and that's something that was part of my job. So it would be like a reasonable accommodation. And then lifting things, like for me, carrying 30 pounds and walking with that is a challenge. At that point it was too. So they would have somebody do that for me. So there's mild, reasonable accommodations. So that would be really the only time I had accommodations, because ever since then, I've had jobs where I've been able to handle without any sort of accommodation. Now, a lot of times when I'm in the office, though, the management will go over, safety precautions in case there's a fire or some sort of emergency where people are rushed out of the building. But that would be something, that we'll go over. But at this point, I work from home. Right here, this is where I work, in this house. And I do like that, but I miss the social interaction too. So in 1990, there was this act introduced called the Americans with Disabilities Act, which prohibits discrimination upon people with disabilities. One time I feel I was discriminated upon when I was applying for a job. I was going in for an interview at 17 years old back in 2009 for a landscaping company, and I said I could do all the requirements of the job, and I had an interview just as anybody else would. And at that point, I didn't get the job because they said to hire somebody else, but I just felt like it was because of my disability. I never took legal action on the matter, but just it's something that's always stuck with me. I felt I didn't get that position simply because of my disability. And could I have done the job? Yes. But would it have been a struggle? Absolutely. So I wanted to share that because even though the Americans with Disabilities Act was introduced in 1990, I still believe that people do get discriminated against with disabilities. And it's not a good thing that people get discriminated against, but I do understand, because it costs money for companies to have reasonable accommodations for people, and it also takes away production if they have to have somebody else do a specific part of the job that the average person would be able to fulfill. So I understand what happens, and if you're concerned with that, I would encourage you to apply for a larger company, particularly a Fortune 500 company. Because I've worked for about three of the companies that I've worked for have been Fortune 500 companies. I noticed they tend to have more accommodations in place for those with disabilities than a smaller company would. So yeah, overall I've had great experiences while working, and I've been at this current company for 3.5 years. I'm really enjoying it. So anyways, have a nice day. Thanks for watching.